Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Moss, and we are here to do some janky shenanigans today. It is time for us to get mossed in the sauce. Uh, all right, so we are playing this random deck that I had thought about during preview season for All Will Be One. After seeing Kemba, the first thing that I really wanted to do was just to make a deck focused on cats and focused on equipments. In perfect always sunny fashion, thought of kitten mittens. So, obviously, got our cats right here. Cauldron Familiar, Sacred Cat. Cats that both have some pretty good reanimation stuff that goes along with them. So, if they die, thankfully, we can bring them back and then start doing more great things with them. But then I started thinking, okay, if these things die and come back, why not lean into that too? So, Zulaport Cutthroat, Witch's Oven, Deadly Dispute. We basically took the Hammer Time deck in Pioneer and the Sacrifice deck and just smashed them together here. Now, we are going to try a little bit harder on the reanimation package. Call of the Death Dwellers here to do, obviously, reanimation stuff if any of our cats get removed. Admittedly, we're running a really low curve. And honestly, this deck probably does better when it has that little extra oomph from Fable of the Mirror Breaker and from Mayhem Devil. But there's just something about putting a Colossus Hammer on a Sacred Cat and then swinging for like 13 lifelinking damage that feels pretty sweet. Now, as far as our artifact package goes, we're running one Malefic Scythe. Now, this is basically draft chaff, but when you think about the reanimation synergies that are here, this starts to make a little bit more sense. We can start to pump our creatures up really high, and the fact that the equip cost is only 1 really helps us out too. We got Transmogrant's Crown because, having a version of Skull Clamp can't be too bad. Lion Sash to hopefully deal with anything that would come back from the graveyard. We are admittedly only running 1 copy. Having a way to tutor it up would be good, especially when there are things like Greasefang, which is going to be on the uptick considering its recent success in the Pro Tour. Shadow Spear because trample, lifelink, why not? And then, obviously, the Colossus Hammer. 22 lands, a lot of basics. In the original iteration of this deck that I had, it was running Ossification, but we're going to try it on the best of 1 ladder today. So, running Fatal Push in its spot, but it could definitely use it in the sideboard if you're going to play this in best of 3. But I'll see you guys in round 1. All right. Game number 1, and this hand is awful. There is no chance that we are keeping this. Okay, this hand's a little bit better. Having these 2 artifacts in hand really doesn't feel that great, but the 2 Deadly Dispute definitely make up for it. I think we can keep this hand, and we're just going to go ahead and bottom the Colossus Hammer, because that's really only good when you have Kemba to make it useful. Alright, opponent's doing something with green and black, so this Cauldron Familiar probably isn't living long. But I'll admit when I'm wrong. Oh no, they're Abzan. Okay, yep, nope, they're doing Greasefang things. That is probably about to get turn 3'd. But we're going to fight through it, see what happens. Opponent's really just thinking about doing something on their end step for their second main. Okay, they're going to Witherbloom Command and get rid of our stuff. Nothing good in the graveyard, so that's something. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and play the Shadow Spear and pass. Admittedly, little bit of a mistake to play the Isolated Chapel because we could at least pretend to hold up a fatal push, but I think the opponent knows that we're not going to be trying to push a whole lot in this matchup. Thankfully, we can Deadly Dispute on the end step and hope to deal with our opponent's shenanigans. Opponent's just milling a bunch of lands and nothing else. A lot of air coming out of him. Opponent's thought seizing. You know what? We will happily let you thought seize and take one of our disputes. Instead, they go for Eaten Alive. Surprising that they go for the sorcery speed removal, but you know, each their own, I suppose. Alright, an opponent's just gonna pass. Honestly, this is probably the best scenario for us. Like, if our opponent's doing a whole lot of nothing, then really, we might have a chance to do our thing. But let's find out. Opponent's still really thinking about everything that they could do. They're probably upset about the fact that they've gone this hard, milled so much, and there is nothing that they can show for it. Alright, opponent finally goes to their end step. As great as it is, sacrifice the Shadow Spear. Alright, we get a hammer and an oven. Again, both of those aren't the worst, but I think what we're going to do is we're just going to play the Zulaport Cutthroat that we just drew for turn. Play the Witch's Oven out of our hand that we drew off of the Deadly Dispute. And pass. Now, again, chances are our opponent can get something in the grave here. Ooh, and they're putting all the good things into the grave finally. Lily, Parhelion, Asika's Chariot. They're doing it all. Alright, so I think if they play a Grease Fang, we're probably just going to Deadly Dispute and hope to... What do we want to get rid of? Okay. So I think what we want to do is sack the Zulaport Cutthroat and at least get in some damage. It would have been great if we could have done the loop with the cat there, but it's understandable why we can't. And then we're just going to sack the cat. Unfortunately, it's going to take us a little bit before we can do more shenanigans. Oh, man. Having the sash would have been great. So we're about to get Parhelion here and get smacked for 13 in the air. Ugh. Alright, we're on a 2-turn clock, and there's not a whole lot we can do about this. Now, thankfully, Lion Sash can exile a lot of the permanents that our opponent could bring back, but we're just in such a bad spot right now that I don't really think it's going to do a whole lot for us. So, just going to pass. Now, if opponent goes to target their Asika's Chariot, we can at least Lion Sash in response. Maybe they can try and throw something in the yard. Maybe they could just can't stay away. Admittedly, now I kind of wish that we did keep the Shadow Spear, but it's on us. Alright, opponent plays a land. Now, thankfully, they do have enough stuff that if we do exile it all, we can at least start to, you know, beat them down a little bit. Alright, we're going to start by exiling this Satyr Wayfinder. And then we're going to go ahead and exile your Esika's Chariot. And then we're going to exile your Liliana. And now it's on our opponent. Now, if they swing out, great. We're going to exile something out of our own yard. Let's go ahead and take this Teleport Cutthroat. Alright, so we are down to 2. What can we do here? The answer is absolutely nothing. Alright, we're just going to exile one more card, but that's it for us. GG, opponent. Alright, see you guys in the next game. Alright, so we are in game number 2. We're going to be on the draw. Hand isn't great. It is a little slow, but we can Sacred Cat in the Transmogrant's Crown. There's at least something that we could do here. And if we get the right pieces, it starts to come together real quick. But we draw a land. Opponent looks like they're just doing mono black. We're going to go ahead and play Teleport Cutthroat. We can at least block their Gifted Aetherborn. Yeah, they're doing mono black. Alright, so they're Nykthos Shenanigans as a deck. And we're both doing life gain, so not really a lot that differs between our decks, but alright, so just gonna pass. I think we're gonna have to take a little bit of a beating here from Gix and from the Gifted Aetherborn. They play Phyrexia in Arena. Interesting. Yeah, we'll take 5. Thankfully, next turn we can swing for 3 with lifelink, so that kind of works out for us. But bless it if we are not just drawing lands. We are a land lord over here. Ooh, and there's Fatal Push. That does not feel good at all. Alright, well, we're just going to go ahead and pass. Transmogrant's Crown really only does something when our creatures die, so it's good when we can get that loop going with the Cat Oven. And there's a Meat Hook Massacre. Ooh, this is not great. At least we got another cat off of this. But they're going to draw 2 more cards. Hopefully they don't get a Nykthos or a Sheoldred anytime soon, because if that's the case, we are basically done for. Alright, Sacred Cat, equip the crown. Man, opponent is just drawing hard in this circumstance. And they're looking at their hand. They want to do something. Murderous Rider. Okay. Well, there goes our blocker, but at least we get to draw a card. And there goes our removal. Sad trombone noises. Well, our creatures are gone. Okay. So they swing for 4. This isn't great. We're just going to go ahead and sack the crown. Hopefully we can grind into something. Wow, we are basically going to get ground into dust. That's the only thing happening here. Alright, opponent is looking at their hand and the options that they have. Thankfully, black doesn't have removal for artifacts, but that doesn't really matter in the face of Sheoldred. There's another Gifted Aetherborn. At least we got rid of Gix. Whoa. Definitely drew the wrong half of our deck. All right, good game, opponent. See you guys in the next one. All right, game number 3. Hey, finally on the play. Too bad we do not have a good hand supporting it. We're mulliganing this. You know what? This hand does do the Kemba thing. I think we want to keep it. Question is, what do we want to get rid of? Truth be told, Witch's Oven, not doing a lot, but we do have the other good piece for it. I'm honestly thinking we gotta get rid of the oven here. Nope. Get rid of the Cutthroat. We're gonna be playing with one creature. It's gonna make it count. Gotta make it count. Alright, don't necessarily like that that's the card that they played. Wow, they spell pierce our hammer? Okay, rude, but understandable. Alright, play the oven and go. Okay, so we know that our opponent is definitely playing counter spells in their deck, so I think we're just going to play the land and pass here. And unfortunately, because it's our only permanent on the battlefield, I think we're just going to Deadly Dispute and sack the Witch's Oven. Hopefully this doesn't get countered. If it does, we're left with an absolute dog water hand and Ionize, not even a good counter. I mean, we'll play Kemba out. Holding it's only going to ensure that it gets countered later on down the line. Next turn, we at least have the potential to make a creature if it lives this turn. Alright, they play Shredder and pass. That isn't bad. Okay. Let's see what they do this turn. They consider. They bin a Shredder. They have some type of removal here. No? Alright, well, we're just going to kill this Shredder. They can have their other one, and as long as they don't have Fiery Impulse, I'm not going to feel bad about this. Okay, so it just seems like this opponent's trying to play Murktide, but in Explorer / Pioneer. So, let's just see what happens. And that is a beating. Okay. So, they kill Kemba, we get a trigger, but what good is that in this situation where all we have on board is a Zilliport Cutthroat and a Swamp in hand? We're gonna swing for 1 and hope that, okay, it connects. That's something. Opponent, no. I don't know what you're doing. Whew, okay. Typhoon for 0. I can't be mad at that. Oh. Magma Opus. So either you're going to try to do creativity. Oh, that's worse. Oh, that's much worse. Oh, they're just going to cast Shark Typhoon for free. Oh no. I'm in danger. Oh, I am in danger. Okay. Let's just equip it. At least you can't do it on attack. Haha, opponent. What you gonna do? We are hellbent. Do something. Alright, you got 2 cards in hand, and they have another Typhoon. And we drew a land. Okay, so we're just gonna pity swing here. Yep, did not think that that was getting blocked. All right, we have a third shark typhoon. Why, opponent? Why must you flex on us here? You know what? Swing, play Kemba. We're going to move that Transmogrant's Crown over, hit our opponent with the GG, and swing. Do it. You deserve it after getting 3 Shark Typhoons on us. Solid game, opponent. All right, see you guys in the next one. All right, so let's see. We're going to be on the draw. This hand is almost there. If this Shadow Spear was just a cat, then it would be perfect. Really, perfect. But I think we gotta throw this one back. Okay, this hand is slightly better. Having the Deadly Dispute is good. Having the removal spell is fine. Double Zulaport Cutthroat doesn't feel the greatest, but I think we're going to put back the land just because we can get something going, and we're likely going to have to sack one of them. All right, so drew a hammer against a red opponent. So let's see. Opponent is thinking very hard. Okay, they're playing Eidolon. That feels bad. Ooh, that feels rough. All right, so opponent plays Chandra, Dress to kill, and kill we will. All right, so Eidolon's down. They take 2. We take 2. But let's see what they do here. All right, they add a mana, and they don't do anything with it. Okay, you know what? With this third Zulaport Cutthroat, I think we're just going to go ahead and sack the hammer, and then just use our... Well, thank goodness we sacked that hammer just to get 2 more. Isn't our deck just so nice to us? All right, so gonna pass to our opponent. Let's see what happens. Now, if we had a cat in hand or a Witch's Oven on the battlefield, this hand would be great against this mono red opponent. All they get is a land off the top? Not bad. Ooh, they're a red devotion deck. Oh my goodness. Well, hold up. Now, wait a minute now. All right, let's do it. We have a 13-13 Kemba on the board. One time. Can we get a Shadow Spear off the top of the deck one time? Shadow Spear is just going to make this mono red opponent cry. They're probably looking at this Kemba, wondering what we're even doing. Obviously, we gotta swing at Chandra for this attack. Ooh, opponent is thinking. They are looking at their deck hard. Did they? Okay. Thought they played Mycosynth Gardens. About to be very concerned. Oh, but they already have the Nykthos in hand. So... Alright. Well, we're just swinging in. What you got, opponent? Cool. You let Chandra go. That is totally okay. And now we're going to play another Colossus Hammer. Alright. So, if we get another untapped source off the top of the deck, we can at least make another cat. and then we'll have two 13/13s on the battlefield. We're going to get to gain a life off of this Zilliport Cutthroat blocking the Fanatic of Mogus. We'll block all day. I've got no problem with blocking. Or are you just going to take it out? Ooh, you play Chain Whirler? So what? We're going to, yeah, gain 4, you lose 4. Totally okay with this opponent. You play another Chandra. Cool. Rad. Do it. Go off, King. Or Queen, I suppose. Alright, opponent swings for 4. Alright, we might not have gotten that untapped source off the top, but we got another kitty. Meow, meow. Alright, let's go. You know, and we're just going to swing for lethal at the opponent. Obviously, they got to block. Like, they can't do anything but block in this scenario. Alright, let's go. Alright, what you gonna do, opponent? You got all this mana and nothing to do with it. Getting real cocky, because, you know, we kind of deserve it after experiencing our losses. We deserve this win. Big dub. Ooh, you cast an Embercleave. Okay. Too bad we efficiently block it. Oh, goodness. There we go. 1 win out the way. All right. It is, however, a shame that we are at the bottom of gold, but you know what? A win is a win. So, see you guys in the next one. All right. Next game, we are on the draw, and man, this man is terrible. All right, Mulligan. This mana is less terrible. We're going to keep. Now, in this situation, we are in such a weird spot that I really don't think we want Deadly Dispute of all things. While it would help us draw, we're not necessarily going to have the, like, sacrifice synergies that make it worth it. We don't even have an artifact to make it worth it. Oh. Oh no. It's blue. It's blue snow. We are playing against spirits. That is like this aggro deck's worst nightmare. Okay. Well, thankfully we've got 2 Fatal Push in hand, so maybe we can do our best impression of the removal dot deck that other decks try to do. We'll push a Spectral Sailor, see what our opponent does. Probably should have held off, that way, you know, we could Curious Obsession, but, or kill them with the Curious Obsession on the thing, but, yep. Alright, let's play Kemba. Let's try to bait out a counter here. Opponent's reading. And reading is good. Reading cards explains the cards. Maybe opponent's going to try to flash in something here. Boom. Get wrecked. There we go. This is actually the paid for arena account, so obviously they were just letting that go because, you know, they had to. For legal reasons, obviously. Alright. Let's start by casting Transmogrant's Crown? Is the opponent going to let it resolve? Opponent lets it resolve? Let's go. Let Kemba resolve. No, don't you look at your hand. You monster. Alright. Go ahead, opponent. You have us at your submission. Oh, okay. Mausoleum Wanderer, yeah. You wander around those catacombs, my friend. You do it. Alright. So, let's just go ahead and start by getting rid of this Lofty Denial. I mean, we're definitely going to take some damage on the next turn. We're taking like 5 at a minimum. Okay. The Malefic Scythe, probably okay to play. I mean, it's on an empty board, so, not a whole lot we can really do. Alright, let's see. Oh, man. Opponent had the other Curious Obsession. Okay. Okay, maybe. Maybe. Yep, you draw that card with your Brazen Borrower. You looking over your hand? Alright. Okay. Maybe we can bait the opponent. Maybe they don't know what Sacred Cat actually says. Oh man, alright. Let's do this. No way that they could have two Brazen Borrowers. Alright, let's see. We're gonna go ahead and sacrifice the cat. Put the other counter on the Malefic Scythe. And then we're gonna equip. It's all coming together. And equip. Alright, opponent. Let's see what you can do. You got 6 in the air, but you got a creature on the ground. Don't you think about doing anything with your Ascendant Spirit. No, don't do it. Don't do it, opponent. No, do it, opponent. Come on. You're really thinking about this turn. You're thinking about it hard. You fool. Alright. Oh, wait, they've got 5 mana. Oh, okay, so that's just going to put them right over the edge. But maybe they don't see that. Oh, they've got lethal in the air. Let's see. They went for it. They took it. Let's go. All right, we were able to gain some life. We were able to draw a card. Can we keep this going? Maybe we draw a removal spell. Even better, we draw another cat. All right, so we have to be able to gain so much life this turn. Okay. They've got right now 7, 9, 10. All right, so we're going to be able to gain 6 off of this attack that they didn't even think about here. All right, so I think we're still dead, but, we tried. We put in that effort. Oh, man. Lion Sash could have been so good if it came forever ago. Except not really. Alright, here's the crown. It's going on the dead cat. Here's the scythe. Going on the dead cat. And we'll just pass. Opponent could be a real G and just not do anything, or they could just play the other Brazen Borrower. Okay, GG, opponent. Alright, I'll see you guys in the wrap-up. Okay, so what are our final thoughts on Cat Hammer? Cat Refice? Kitten Mittens? It's a lot of things that we could say about this deck, a lot of names we could call it, but terrible is definitely the best name that we can give it. Whoo, doggy, the fact that this only won against mono red is kind of a testament to how janky this thing is. Now, admittedly, there are some things that could be done better. Mana base is definitely all over the place. If you were going to do this the right way, obviously, a lot of 4-ofs going hard on the untapped sources. So, getting all of your courtyards, getting all of your pathways, all of your shrines, definitely the first thing to do. Second thing, as far as the cards that we're playing go, I've seen red-white versions and blue-white versions of this deck from people like Frank Karsten and a lot of the other popular like streamers in the immediate aftermath of All Will Be One coming out. Kemba is okay at best. Honestly, as a card, he's pretty mid because you have to have him survive, but he's a 2-mana value creature in a format where Fatal Push is like one of the most common cards, in a format where Stomp is one of the most common cards, in a format where Go for the Throat, Murderous Rider, you've got Rending Volley. You've got so many pieces of removal at instant speed in either red or black that it just makes this card feel terrible to be playing somewhere in your 60, let alone the 75. It can do work, but not that much. The red-white versions of these Hammer Time decks that I've seen for Pioneer, for Explorer, they're running a lot of these. They're running a lot of the Cacophony Scamp, that red Phyrexian Goblin Warrior 1-drop, and trying to take advantage of things like Resolute Strike and Aster. But even then, while you can get a turn 2 kill, your creatures have to survive until turn 2 and not see any disruption, no interruption to your game plan. This can be a good combo, but it is largely going to be a bad combo. With the backup plan of the whole cat oven shenanigans, honestly, we didn't really see the cat oven combo go off a whole lot. And we saw Zulaport Cutthroat a lot, but he didn't really do much. I think if we were to come back to a future iteration of this deck, we're probably going to focus more on the cat synergies, but that does mean that we're going to need to focus on finding good cats. With Luris being gone, and with Kahira being okay as kind of a cat lord, but not really doing much else besides giving them a, slight anthem and vigilance, really kind of sucks. Colossus Hammer, garbage. This isn't modern where you can do so many things to equip this to a creature easily. Right now, trying to play this deck on Arena, it's going to suffer because you don't have Sigarda's Aid. But I think even when we do get Sigarda's Aid in Innistrad Remastered, we're still going to see this deck having a lot of problems. Being able to equip immediately and being able to do everything at instant speed is nice, but again, you got to deal with all the instant speed removal. Fatal Push definitely helped us out a little bit in our game against Spirits, but it didn't get us there all the way. I think if we were going to try this deck again, probably going to lean into the red-white a little bit more. The cat's going to be weaker in those colors, but hey, got to go with what works. But hopefully we can get lost in the sauce some more soon. I really enjoyed this. I'll see you guys in the next one, and don't forget, like and subscribe to our channel. Peace.